welcome to episode 100 of Werewolf the Podcast. I've been told that I'm not enthusiastic enough when I make these podcasts, and that I sound a little sarcastic and bored. So I'm going... No, I'm not. Sorry, that's bollocks. I can't do that. This is me. Yeah. Anyway, we've got to episode 100 and we should be celebrating, apparently. I don't really know why. And maybe it's just because we survived to episode 100 and not many podcasts do that, apparently. So there you go. We got here. Woohoo. Yeah. Thanks to all those people that follow me on different platforms. The Facebook group is awesome. I go on it every day now and learn things and see things and laugh and giggle, and the people on there are fantastic. So nice to meet you. There's a link down to the Facebook group in the description. You can follow me on Twitter. I post things. And you can follow me on Instagram. I post things. And yeah. And to those people who've supported the show by buying coffees and stuff, that's been awesome. Thank you very much. You are wonderful. And I am selling a book of the first 30 transcripts from the show on Amazon. I can't make it any cheaper. I've made it as cheap as I can sell it, so Amazon are the only people making money out of it, which is a bit of a bummer for me, but it just means that it's there if you want it. It would be good if you bought it. Not for Amazon, but well, I don't know, would it be good if you bought it? Because I'm not actually earning anything from it. The fucking... Anyway, moving on. Let's get back to episode 100 and not think about my business models, which I haven't got. Oh, where are we? She was asleep in the car next to me. Who is she, you ask? It's a good question. Sally was asleep in the car next to me. The past few weeks had been intense. Yeah, I'm dropping straight in. Don't worry, you'll understand where it's going. You'll understand where it's going if you're confused. It had been an intense few weeks, and I was in a state of conflict in my head, a state of affliction as well, I suppose. Do you remember Affliction? That was those fucking horrible t-shirts, weren't they? The MMA world did for a bit. You know, they were all like, I don't know, like sort of shitty tattoos and all ripped with like vajazzle on and things. So I don't know. Anyway, what? Okay, sorry. Apparently I need to get back on with it. Something just did not smell right. What didn't smell? Oh, right, in the story. Okay, sorry, I got a bit lost. Not in the way that you would expect with a werewolf. This was the situation. This was not a physical stink, but an actual spiritual stink. As I said before, this is episode 100 of the podcast, and we've done that thing that series do in building up to an over-dramatic climax that I hope you will find good, but that you've not worked out the answer because, like, you need twists and turns and bollocks, apparently. That would be shit if you'd worked it out. And I could go into great detail about the happenings of the few last episodes, but honestly, it would take longer than my allotted time to tell you all that had happened so far. So could I ask you just to revisit from about episode 95 to get the gist of what is happening here? If you did that, that would be fucking awesome, and I would love you greatly. Thank you. Back to the story. I was conflicted. Oh, I've already said that. See, how confused am I now? I'm already getting mixed up in what I'm saying, which is not great. We were travelling back from a trip to Aberystwyth where we'd managed to get our hands on a manuscript that told us how to kill a werewolf. Now, when I say kill a werewolf, I mean the whole thing. Both bits. As you know in this story and set of tales, werewolves are made of two parts, a wolf soul and a human. The problem you might remember for killing a werewolf thing was that it's almost impossible just to kill the human part of a werewolf. You have to, like, mangle its head pretty much zombie style to stop the fucker from returning. But the wolf soul itself could not be destroyed. It was a spirit, for fuck's sake, so it had no physical or corporeal, that's a good word, isn't it, component. So it had nothing to destroy. That meant even if you killed the human part of the werewolf, which was a fucking tricky thing to do, the wolf's soul would continue on to a new host. Sally and I had been asked to get a text written by a witch in the 1200s that may kill the soul part of the wolf off. Yeah, I know, it's difficult to believe we had to go and get a magic spell. But right now, you are suspending your belief enough to listen to someone saying that they're a fucking werewolf and telling you all this bullshit, so I'm sure you can suspend your disbelief a little more. I mean, these stories that I tell you could never be true. Could they? That would be ridiculous, eh? A real werewolf? Back to the car. And what was happening in it? I was conflicted. I know, I'm sorry, I keep repeating. Sorry. Sally was cozied up in a giant leather seat to my left. Yeah, in Britain we are one of those backward places that drive on the right side of the road. I mean the correct side of the road, that is on the left-hand side of the road. Not the... Anyway, why do you... What? Why do we drive on that? I don't know. I don't care. If I start going down all the tangents that come up in these episodes, this one will be hours long, and some of us have a life. Oh, I mean you, by the way, not me. I don't have a life. We were heading back to Manchester, and I was by myself for once, listening to tunes and thinking. I'm rarely free in my head, but both the giant wolf souls, the posits, were snuggled up in the back, and I think they sleep. Why they'd sleep, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a habit that the soul cannot escape even when not linked to the body. I mean, it's maybe a question that could be asked. I'm not sure. But they seemed silent and there was no noise in my head. I watched Sally and could tell she was away in some sort of fairyland in her head, so it was time for me to think, and I'm pretty good at it when I get my mind to it. I'd come to a conclusion that basically I was having the piss ripped out of me here. And I really was. I am a paranoid being by nature with psychotic tendencies. You might not have noticed in the last 100 episodes. If you're psychotic, you assume everyone else in the world is as well. I find it easier that way than judging all individually. I knew Sally was probably lying to me, and at least Sally had not told me the whole truth. She either knew something more than this bullshit story she'd offered was happening, or she didn't know. Now, Sally is not thick as fuck. I mean, her education was a bit of a miss due to the nature of her rapey childhood. I mean, she didn't come from a very supportive background, but she did have, like, street smarts. No, that's the wrong term, because she came from a wee Scottish village in the arse end of nowhere. Common sense? No, that's not right either, because her sense was very uncommon for one so young in this world. She was really fucking clever. There's a bit of an anticlimax to it all there, but she was, had any, like, adjectives you wish. Very or really clever. I couldn't see her being duped or conned. She must know what was going on. She must. She had told me that we were getting this magical spell thingy to kill off this mental werewolf soul in Russia that was causing the werewolf tribe themselves a lot of issues. It didn't seem to give a fuck, basically, this soul, and was about to ruin everything that the whole tribe had ever worked for. The problem was that we knew, Fen and I, that this was bullshit. There was no soul called Silence. How did we know? Well, I don't know what it is, but they seem to forget that Fen, my wolf soul, was there right at the beginning. In at the bite, as it were. And he was not thick in the slightest. He would have remembered a soul called Silence. I mean, he actually could list them down, all the souls that were there, and what they were like, and who they were, and there was no Silence. There was only 74 of them, and he remembered each werewolf and its character, and who it had been, and all that. Okay, I suppose it could have changed its name, but that was unlikely. So what was that all about? We'd also been to a seance with the great Phil the necromancer. No, not necromancer. No, not necrophiliac. Those are the wrong terms. He was a medium, which is such a shit name when you could be called a necromancer. He was a medium through whom the spirits of the dead could communicate. Fucking hell, I just said whom. I think that's the first time I can ever remember using the word whom. He had met the dead body of my ex-wife. See, complicated shit or what? 100 episodes give you fuckloads of material and plots and twists and nearly as large a cast of characters as a Tolstoy novel. Just nowhere as well written or filled with lessons and hidden messages as metaphors and shit, you know. That clever bollocks isn't in this, really, is it? Sorry, where was I again? Oh yeah, the dead wife. She was called Azza as well. Yeah, that was right, because the wolf soul and the human had been together right from the start, right from the founding of the pack. So Azza was the woman and Azza was the soul. She had decided she was going to kill fated Phil, but before doing so, this was during the seance, had told him to tell me that Sally and Azza were on their way to get us. Ooh, whatever that means. I took this as somewhat of a threat, which seemed strange now as Sally and Azra had been nothing but nice. I mean, we had, you know, thinged and stuff, you know what I mean. So that tends to mean you get on a bit, doesn't it not? Does it not? I'm not sure. Could it? Well. So as you can see, I had to try and work out what the fuck was going on. No soul they wanted to kill, and the ladies wanted revenge as far as I could tell. I looked at her and, yes, back to the start of the piece. Now you can see, I was conflicted. She now sat before me, tied to a tree. This was going to be a difficult conversation. Sally! Sally!
Fuck off, man!
Sally! Wake up, Sally! Sally, wake up! Wait, whoa, before we do anything, see, Azza's sat over there, you can see her, but she's not going to be part of this, because if
part
she...
of what?
Shut up.
Don't be so fucking rude, man. Come on, I'm your friend.
If you try to transform, and Azza knows this, you've got a very, very tight wire around your neck made from surgical grade steel. I hope you can feel it. I'll put your hand on it. Can you feel that?
Yes, what the fuck?
And if you transform, that'll cut your own fucking head off. So don't transform. Azza's going to sit over there, and she's going to do the best thing for her, which is to shut the fuck up. I've heard her story, and I'll be comparing it to your story at the end of this. Fenn's over there as well. He's going to be watching and be very interested, okay? So we're going to try and... excuse me. We're going to try... What's funny? This is not funny. Look where you are.
Look, man, come on. What's going on? We're friends here. I don't understand.
I don't think we're friends, personally.
Oh, what?
Right, let me continue. Can you be quiet? Shh. Okay? Right. It's been fun the last few days and stuff, but I've only got really... Well, I don't know. I've got two questions to ask you. The first question is, how fucking stupid do you think we really are? I can't believe your behaviour over the last few days.
Wait. Well, what are you accusing me of here?
Well, I'm going to let you come to some conclusion yourself. Why do you think I would think that you're treating me like a fool? So let's have a thought on that one.
My head's a little bit groggy. Can we simplify the question?
Okay. Why are you fucking me around?
Oh, see, that makes more sense. Which way am I fucking you around? Can you be a bit more specific? I mean, I fuck with you all the time, man, and you're like the only person in the world I get such pleasure from doing it to. Did you see what I was doing with your coasters? That shit was funny. Come on, man.
No, this is now serious, Sally, because you're either going to walk away from this or you're not.
What?
Yeah, that's how serious this is now.
Wait.
No. What you're going to do is you're going to listen, right?
Fair.
I feel like I've been played for an absolute fool, okay?
Okay.
I've been drugged, thrown in the back of a van, I've been attacked, I've had all these things, I've been fucked around inside my own home.
In my defense, can I say something?
Of course.
We needed to chat to you, and if we didn't drug you, I knew there was no way in hell's earth or teeth or pits of my belly that you would speak to these guys with, the drugging was a kind of necessary thing, otherwise...
So, right, the first thing I want you to think about really, really carefully here is, remember, I've already spoke to Azza about this. Is there really this wolf soul, this mad fucking wolf soul in Russia called Silence? Now, you need to either just say yes or no, or some kind of excuse or some bollocks. Well, what do you think I think, having asked you this question?
I'm guessing because you're pretty pissed you don't think they exist, but to the best of my knowledge, Will, I thought this dude was real. I've not met him. I've been to a couple of meetings with the pack now and met
Well, that's a little bit
most of the folk
shocking
there,
because it's female.
What do you mean? What?
The Solence is female, according to you. That was your story last time.
Yeah, but you can say him in reference to a person. I'm not like, alright, okay, sorry, I wasn't gender specific. I'm not keeping up to date with this modern age. I'm really sorry. I've never met them. But I've been told that they're, almost as bad as you, man.
Well, that's strange, because I was been told that there was them. That's the reason why we're looking for this magic bollocks to kill a werewolf soul. I don't understand what's going on, because
this is the opinion
it's a
of the
boy
other
or it's a fucking girl. What the fuck is it? Well, I don't understand what's really going on. Well, Az has given me an answer, so I'd be very careful where this is going at the moment. And if she says anything to you, I can fucking hear her.
Az has told me that...
So Az has told you?
Yeah.
So would Az ever lie to you?
I would think not. But
Okay.
I've only known her a little while,
Okay.
and she's got a bit of a dark side, but I kind of like that about her. But if she's lied to me, I'm going to be pissed.
Right, well, there is no Solence. Because Fen, they don't remember that Fen was there right at the beginning. He was one of the first twins right at the start. And Fen can't remember any female called Solence. And Azza won't mention any female called Solence. And I think it's utter fucking bollocks, personally. I think you're playing for us for a fool. And if that's the case...
Wait, me
well, shut up!
specifically?
Why the fuck am I going to find this thing if there's no fucking wolf soul to kill?
Look, man, to the best of my knowledge, this dude's real. We're meant to be going and hunting her down and getting her teeth out, and then, like...
I don't believe you.
That's what they told me, and I believed them. Don't get me wrong, the two big Russian guys, they were giving me, like, the heebie-jeebies, but I'm just getting used to this whole being a werewolf shit. My senses are not highly attuned to my knowledge. The two have not been interlinked to the degree that I would have liked.
How much time have you spent with the werewolf tribe?
I was with we had that big party the night that I arrived, and then we stayed through that next morning. We were gone by the afternoon. So I've only
You went to Russia for a day?
Yeah. It was a big hike into that bloody remote back end of the fucking country, and then we get there and all there is bloody snow and trees as far as the eye could see.
I don't believe you.
It was such a bloody hiking, but as it was all
went
like, oh,
to
okay.
the middle of Russia for a day.
Well, like I say, hike in, meet everyone, get the mission, and then we only had like 3 weeks to find you after that.
So why didn't you meet them in the city of Surgut then?
I don't know. I think that was a privacy thing. They're worried about people
How many
figuring out who
werewolves
they
were
are.
actually there then?
10?
Okay. And can you remember any of their names?
God, that's asking now. The head guy, he, it was something like Andrew, Al Moko, that was the head dude.
Right.
I remember him, because
Okay.
he was in charge, but there was.
And what did he say to you then?
He said.
I mean, what's made you decide that you're gonna go and be on these and go and do this thing for these Russian people? I don't understand that.
Well, you were my family, man.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm not
As's
I'm
offer.
not anything to do with this tribe, though. That's the thing. I've got fuck all to do with them. The only first time that
That's
they
not
turn
what
up
they
in
told
London.
me. They said that you're all from the same wolf tribe and tribe of people. That you're all family.
Well, the first time they come to me is they turn up in fucking London and beat the shit out of me, and I wake up in the back of a truck with you. What's that about?
What
I don't understand what's going on. So you've met Al Morco, who's the head boss guy, and there was like another 10 people there. You don't know any of them.
No, we like met, but like their names didn't stick in my
So
head.
these,
It was a bit.
well, these two cunts here, and fucking Alric and whatever his face.
Well, they were there, but they've come with me.
Right? And you trusted these people.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're all werewolves. And that makes sense to me that we'd like, you know, look after our own.
So what did they tell you to do then?
Well, they said that this dude,
So
this dudette is,
no, that's fuck that. If they don't exist, I know they don't fucking exist. Okay? No, just... Okay, they don't fucking exist. So, they grabbed me, they drugged me, they put me in the back of a van. Mm-hmm. And that's okay with you?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't entirely down with the idea, but you also were a scary motherfucker. I was looking forward to seeing you again, but they weren't, and that was the only way they would go in a room with you. And I knew if I was there, I could calm you down enough that you would listen. They used
So
me,
basically they used you to try and calm me down?
Yeah, by the sounds of it, which is pissing me off a little bit here, too.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, Will. I didn't know.
Right, okay. Before we go any further, yeah, I went to see one of these cunts who can speak to the fucking dead, and he really could. I've seen it. I saw him speak to the fucking dead. I was there, and it was real. And I went to his place, and then I spoke to him, and he spoke to Azza's ex-host, whatever her face was, Azza, okay, my supposed fucking wife, and she killed Phil on that day while he was doing his seance bollocks, and then said to me that you and Azza were coming for me. What does that mean?
Well, all I got told after me and Azza did our whole little union thing, that she wanted to meet with you again. Like, we were coming to find you. I feel like you've taken it, like what he said means we're gonna come and get you like the boogeyman, but we're not the boogeyman. She just wanted to kind of come and fuck with you a bit, but I really wanted to see you. I had lots of fun with you, and I let you down, man. You came to help sort out my life, and I thought I was chill with that, and then you're like, there's a head on the floor, and I panicked. And it was only once you were gone, I saw your fucking face, and you left. And I just had to sit in the middle of all that carnage. And the first thing I felt was regret. So when Azza came along with her offer, I jumped on it.
I'm not falling for this. This is just this is too...
Falling for what, man? You think I'm
absolute
gonna lie to you? Why would I lie to you?
You are lying to me. This is not how it goes. This is absolute fucking bollocks. You're talking absolute
You've
shit.
got issues, man. You got way too many issues. But
Sally,
if you
the
think
only
I'm
person who's got the
you,
fucking issue right now is you. You're fucking tied against
you're
a tree
a
with
fucking psycho.
Okay.
And I know that. And I still fucking like you.
So why are you talking to me like this then if I'm a fucking psycho? Do you not know I'm going to kill you?
Well, man, if you do that, I guess it wouldn't surprise me, but I would rather survive, I confess. I thought we were gonna go on loads of adventures and have fun, but now I don't need you to look after my ass. I just thought it would be fun to have a little partner in crime and go fuck with the world a bit. Like, it's fucked with me. I'm fed up of being everyone's doormat, and if these guys have used me, then I'm gonna go fuck with them. It's not all you just at the dinner table.
Excuse me, the only person that's important is me.
Well, I disagree with you there. I'm quite important too, in my own opinion.
Yeah, in your opinion.
Well, man, if you don't give a shit about me, just fuck off then. I thought we had something that was fun.
I don't do fun. I don't do relationships.
Yeah, clearly. I'm not gonna... Just do whatever you're gonna do and leave me alone.
Okay, Sally. I'm afraid the decision is that I'm going to take your canine teeth with me, and that way Azza will be under my control, and if anything happens bad or shit or anything like that, I will crush those canine teeth, and
you can't.
will lose
Azza's
Azza.
my fucking posit.
It also gives me the opportunity to have a little fun with you, and let's see if I can get these teeth out.
Fuck, no. Get the fuck away.
Come here.
Will,
come here.
Will,
on,
fuck off,
fun.
Will.
I said, listen.
Fuck off.
The journey back to Manchester was now a bit of a lonely one, to be honest. In my hand, I held the perfect white canines that I'd removed from my mouth, and they were still bloody. I'd have done the right thing. Fen sat by me in the car now, and we were away in our own silent thoughts, dipping in and out of each other's thoughts every now and again, just to sample the real sadness that we felt. Time went quick. Eventually I arrived at the garage doors and buzzed them open to be met by Malcolm. We were home. He could tell that I was not to be disturbed in any way just now. He'd learnt his role well and got into the car and parked it to one side of the garage while I wound my way through all the other cars in the garage to get to the elevator to the top of the building. Malcolm caught up with me in a flappy run and managed to catch his fingers between the closing doors of the lift and enter. And he stood nervously across from Fen and me as I stared into the palm of my hand at those beautiful little teeth. Malcolm knew the significance. At least, I think he did. They went upstairs, Will, into the kitchen, Malcolm told me. Thanks, Malcolm, I replied. Sir, can I help? No, we've got this, Malcolm. Just go downstairs and, I don't know, have a wank and hide, I said, turning towards him with a big toothy smile. We have this. And he nodded. As we left the lift, we made our way to the kitchen. Malcolm went down the back stairs, the security door deadbolts locking behind him as he left the hall. Walking into the kitchen was getting exciting. Everything went into slow motion as Fen and I walked in together, the two amigos, wolf and man, ready for some payback, for some fun. One of the Russians was standing at the open door of the meat locker. The great silver door stood open, and he carried a part of a carcass over his arm. Of what? I couldn't tell. As I passed him at the mouth of the door, I pushed him into the vast steel cooling box and slammed it, clicking the overly solid catch closed as I did so. Confused, his face was pressed momentarily in shock at the small window of the door. The other man turned from preparing something on the worktop at the door's slam. There was a momentary smile from him as he looked at me, and then my face did its work. I transformed before he'd even thought, and his posit moved, but I was already ripping into his throat and removing his head from his body with my jaws. My clawed hand had already become wrist deep into his chest, punching my way through it to explode out the other side. I wrenched at the human head before it got a chance to change, and I removed it, tossing it across the room. The man was dead. His posit was trapped and railing against its inability to do anything. I smirked at it as much as a werewolf can smirk. I think I can do a good smirk even as a wolf. I loved this shit. I looked at the little lost posit, turning back to my human form. It was freaking out. The Russian it was spewing forth was threatening and of a colour you would never get from the Russian tourist office. I laughed at it, wholeheartedly, and Fen went and sat near it, looking at it. The meat locker this time was rocking and shaking as the creature inside tried to get out. The door was moving and shaking with blows. The window of the insulated glass was cracked and broken. It wouldn't take it long to get out of there, but it would take long enough for this. Grabbing and lifting the head by its hair, I brought it over to where the posset and the fellow in the locker could now see it. I fished inside its mouth and ripped out one canine tooth, showing it to the audience like I was going to do some kind of magic trick or something. I suppose I was. Eventually, I had all 4 of the canines sat out on the worktop. The Russian posset was now sitting in silence. Looking at me, it showed fear. I'd never seen a posset show fear. It cowered. I reached above my head and lifted a malt whiskey glass from the shelf, and next to it a bottle of Macallan 25-year-old, as the meat fridge slowly stopped rattling and I could hear the heavy breathing of the werewolf inside it through the broken window as it watched. It was now paying attention too. I took the stopper carefully from the bottle. I fucking hate it when they do this kind of thing using their teeth in the films. It damages the plastic cap and it could hurt your teeth. It also makes the bottle somewhat unsightly. This stuff in this bottle should be respected when drunk or even looked at. It hurts me enough even to break the seal on these things. I feel like I should care for them like a small child. If I knew how I should look after a small child, that was. Looking at the wolf's soul and the werewolf, I leaned over the steel worktop and carefully filled the glass a quarter full. I gently twisted the bottle at the end of the pour so that not a single drop of this amber nectar was wasted or spilt. Then lifting the glass, I saluted the wolf in the fridge and the posset by the door, raising that glass high. Fen was sitting behind me now. He was extremely interested in what was going to happen. I brought the glass slowly to my lips. I could tell everyone was watching. These moments should never be rushed. The drink was divine. It burnt the throat in that just enough way. It hinted at citrus and vanilla. It had an oaky bite with subtle spices. I swirled it around my mouth, engaging every surface of my super senses. I mean, can you imagine what this tasted like to me? How it was afforded to me by my werewolf bits? I was lost in the moment, closing my eyes. Amazing. Will! Fen brought me back to the moment. I sniffed the empty glass and tried to drain the last drop again from the bottom of the glass before I slammed it down on the 4 teeth. The heavy glass bottom of the tumbler smashed those teeth into a powder. Bits flew like shrapnel around the room. The Russian posset was gone. It just went. No screaming or explosions or anything. It had just gone. It was actually a pretty fucking disappointing disappearance. I looked around the room. It worked. It fucking worked. The fucking fucker was gone. I walked forward to the door of the metal box, knocking gently on it. The monster was inside, but very quiet. I turned around and leaned my back against the metal door and started to speak through the small hole where the window once was. Hey, Mr. Wolf. I think you should become Mr. Russian Man and listen to the next few things that I will say very carefully. You have just been the witness to what I have learned. I cannot believe you were silly enough to ask me to go and get it. What was the thinking behind that one? Actually, do you know what? I don't give a fuck. I suppose they thought I would get it and then you would kill me with it. They consider themselves so much better than me, don't they? They felt that they could use Sally and Azra against me. They're so fucking patronising. Is that the word? They thought that little of me that I would actually go and get my own doom? Did they think I wouldn't ever work this shit out? Am I a bit too stupid or something? Did they find this shit funny? Oh, fuck 'em. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up. This worked out pretty well in the end. Do you know what? I will let you go and tell them what I know now. That I have the magic words, the knowledge and the bollocks to kill them all the fuck off. Sally, I lifted my other hand with 4 teeth to the window. I'm afraid she's here. I banged on the door now. How does that sound to you, Wolfie? I opened the door and the naked man left the meat vault staring at me. You will regret this, he said. Yeah, I know. Blah, blah, blah-de-blah and all that. Now fuck off, why don't you? It being episode 100, we're going to end with Zachary Hiroka's verse he sent me. Sent me this a while back. It's very good, but I wanted to save it for something special. So here we are, episode 100. My name is Fen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is my own story, so let's begin. With my fur of black and my fangs like ivory, I walk these city streets of lost souls and misery, pondering the thoughts that are sure to come to me. I've been here before, time and again. It's been 300 years that I've walked this land, but this time the light is dimmer than it's ever been, filled with tears, darkness, and the abandonment of man. Some suffer from addiction, whether it be to sex, alcohol, or dope. Some even fall to their sense of false hope. Tell me, when will you learn to get off the ground and stop suffering in silence as the rich hold you down? Don't you get it? You're not to blame. Your lives have been discarded for wealth and for fame. Now as the world crashes around you, what do? Sit and listen to the false pretenses of the news given to you by some guy who wears a suit and a tie. Then you're left stranded when his promises don't come true. This is all madness. When will it end? I can go on. There's so much more. Just look at the lady, so broken and poor. She sells herself on the corner at the convenience store. You have the audacity to call her a whore. Are you all seriously okay with this? And here I was thinking that I was a mess, but yet your self-destruction proves my innocence. How about the need for a cure for cancer? Have they not told you that they have found the answer? Yes, it's true. But we let the rich get richer, and we watched your loved ones as their lives slowly wither. So with this, I run towards the moon and disappear into the shadows of the trees, and I leave you all to your own fate of hopelessness and of agony. Thank you very much, Zach. That was episode 100. A big thank you to all you supporters out there. It's been an incredibly fun journey. Get in contact with me if you want. You can find me and ask me questions and do all that kind of nonsense. And I love to share and speak and get ideas off you and get the poems and stories. And yeah, just get in contact. All the links are down below in the description. I especially want to hear from you if you're a werewolf or a were-being. I met a unicorn the other day from somewhere in Carolina. Yeah, were-unicorn changes into a unicorn with the rainbow. I thought that was phenomenal, and yeah, that might go into a story somewhere. Love you very much, everyone. It's been a great journey, and I'm sure there's more to come. Bye!